What we're seeing on the streets now are lots and lots and lots of brown-skinned people speaking different languages who are unable to integrate into our community. In my particular road, which is a small cul-de-sac, we've had 4 families move in, none of whom speak English. All of them have small children. So that will mean those children will need to go to school who come from families who don't speak English. And it would appear that the government aren't mitigating this in any way. To be honest, from talking to people and seeing the reactions of people, I get the bus, it's the colour of the skin more than anything.
So do you have a problem with that?
No. And do you know what? I feel a bit fearful because we've got the corner shop turned into a halal meat shop. I went into Asda on Saturday.
What was it before it was a halal meat shop?
It was a normal corner shop.
A normal corner shop. And what happened to it that it closed?
No, it just got turned into a halal meat shop.
Well, you mean it got new owners, did it?
Yeah.
Well,
and the church down the road, which for a number of years was dormant, was empty, was a Baptist church, about 18 months ago became a mosque. I went into Asda on Saturday, and the first, 10, 12 people I saw were all speaking non-English. There's a fear of being overwhelmed, I think. And
is it changing too quickly and suddenly for you? Is that your feeling?
There's no effort, it appears, to integrate these people. If you've got a street full of people all talking in their own, not a street full, four separate families with children playing in the street, all talking in their own language.
Yeah. That becomes a problem if you don't start understanding each other. Yeah.
And I think it's a deliberate government policy to move legal migrants, legal asylum seekers, and this is an argument I do have with people. They're not illegals at all. Unfortunately, some people read the Daily Mail. They're not illegals. These are people here legally. It's a fear of being overwhelmed, I think, because I'm out and about and I see how many of these refugees are being placed in the country. I came home on the bus the other night, Sheila, and there was a group of, I would say, 12 men that could have been from Sudan, sort of North Africa, all went upstairs on the bus and all came down together, all talking in their own language. And I don't know, I found that a bit scary, to be honest.
And just a final question to you. If the local authority and, say, community charity or something were to enable introductions, would that calm your nerves about it a bit?
I think there should be a concerted effort. First of all, I think the government should stop this policy of putting vast numbers in one particular poorer area because it can fuel this fear. The government's just got to stop this. But the second thing is, now that we've got them, we have to move forward and we have to have a concerted community effort.
Your caller, she had a very sweet voice, but she is what is endemically wrong with people who, differenting people. She actually, and you can't say it because you're not a person of colour, she sounded like a really pleasant bigot, a racist. My grandfather fought in World War II, and he laid down his life. He would have died for this country. And how much more British do you want? This argument that you've got to assimilate. Well, when the British went to India, did their crinoline-wearing women start wearing saris?
Yeah,
no, they didn't.
I hate the word assimilate. I think cohesion is a much better word because that is about two people making an effort.
No, but I tell you what being British is. British to me is democracy. It's the rule of law. It's equality. It's not inclusion. It's pluralism, where everybody is equal, where you can look how you want and speak what language. And we celebrate languages. We celebrate colour. We celebrate religion. And the head of the Church of England seems to understand that more than others. And I speak as a Muslim.
Don't you think it's important that people learn English if they live in the UK?
Yeah, yes, but how does she know? What? It's just my mind boggles. My mind boggles. How does she know their backstory?
No,
how does she know their?
Which is why I asked her if she'd spoken to them and found out, and she hadn't.
What is the problem with halal? What's wrong with halal?
Yeah, which is why I asked about what happened to the corner shop.
I do. She is a racist. She's a very pleasant, sweet racist. My daughter was in the Territorial Army. I am a teacher and now a schools inspector. I do everything that I can to help British society. 10% of my income goes to charity. 10%. 10% goes to charity. I do everything I can. My neighbours are from every walk of life, white, English, black, Chinese, whatever. And you go and ask them, do you know who Sophie is and what kind of person is she? I will be the first one. But I am still brown and I still wear hijab. And my grandfather still had an accent.
So what do we do? What do we do, Sophie?
We educate people like her. We educate people like her, and we open society up, and we stop living in this little echo chamber that we live in. You know, Britain, Brexit, and Britain, we've excluded ourselves from the world. It's bad enough as it is, and we're becoming more and more polarized, and the uneducated are becoming more uneducated. But then on the other side, you have people who are really pushing for education and openness. I understand that.
But this is why I was saying at the very beginning, before we'd even spoken to our first caller, that we are having the wrong conversation about immigration in this country, I think. And Suella Braverman wants us to have the wrong conversation about it. I mean, we have to stand up for asylum seekers, of course we do. So in that sense, it's the right conversation. But the wider conversation is about streets such as that woman described, isn't it? Where we have to get stuck in somehow, either through local authority work, through educational work, through community work, and get people knowing each other and educated out of this fear and racism towards one another.
Who in 2023 uses the word mongrel? She
about herself.
Herself, yeah, but I wouldn't use it about myself.
No, I wouldn't.
That is a reflection of her thinking. She is not educated. Listen, the problems that we have in 2023, the reason why we're needing refugees and immigration and asylum seekers is historically because of what British colonialism has done. It is the impact of British foreign policy, American foreign policy. I am no extremist. I am the best of British, and I'm so proud of being British. But my eyes are open.
In what sense your eyes are open?
Politically. Like, I have an absolute firm grasp on history, on politics, on Boris Johnson, or what the Conservatives stand for, on the history of colonialism and the British Empire, why we have, of what's happened to Afghanistan, what's happening in Yemen. You know, what's happening in Ukraine is absolutely a tragedy, but it is no less than what's happened in the Middle East, to Afghanistan, to Palestine, to the West Bank, Gaza. All of these things, the British and the West have had more than a little finger in, more than a foot in this pond. They have so much to answer for. And then when you get people from these countries needing shelter, the brown-skinned halal shops, and they don't and they don't speak English. My mind boggles.